Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a drugstore makeup tutorial. Normally I do makeup tutorials with mostly high-end products here on my channel, but that's just kind of what I gravitate towards most, just because I feel like trying all the different products at the drugstore just gets really annoying because you can't test anything out in the store, so it's kind of like hit or miss. But I have found some really good products at the drugstore, and all of them are going to be incorporated into this tutorial. So I hope that you guys find this video helpful, and if you guys want to see how I created this look using all drugstore products, then please keep watching. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start off with the face. The foundation that I'm using today is the Maybelline Dream Liquid Mousse Foundation. I'm in the shade Sandy Beige, and this is supposed to give you a nice airbrush finish. So I'm just going to be using my Morphe G8 brush to blend this all out. So now I'm just going to be moving on to concealer. I'm just going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 20 Sand Sable, and I'm going to be putting this underneath my eyes, just doing a couple lines and taking it back up to my temple. Same thing on the other side. Down the bridge of my nose to highlight, a little bit on my cupid's bow and on my chin, and just like kind of underneath my mouth because I get shadows right there. A little bit more highlight to the skin, I'm going to be using this Maybelline Age Rewind in the shade Brightener Illuminator, so it's more of like a pink toned corrector concealer type thing. So I'm just gonna do a couple twists, and I'm just gonna put this at the high points of my face. And then I'm gonna blend that out with the Beauty Blender. Now to set everything in place, I'm going to be using my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder in the color Transparent. Okay, so next, to bronze up the skin a little bit, I'm going to be using this NYC Bronzer in Sunny, and it just looks like this. And I'm going to be taking this on a big fluffy powder brush. So now that we have the skin nice and bronzed up, I'm going to go in with blush. One of my favorite brands in the drugstore is Milani, and they just came out with these new blushes that look like roses. They're so beautiful. So the one that I'm using today is in the shade Romantic Rose, and I'm just going to be placing that on my cheeks. So I have yet to find a good contouring palette at the drugstore, so I'm not even going to bother with contouring. I'm just going to leave it with bronzed and blush. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to my brows. I'm going to be using from Milani their Milani Shaping Clear Brow Wax, which I use all the time, and this Milani Easy Brow Pencil in the shade Dark Brown. So this reminds me of the Anastasia Brow Wiz. Similar concept, so we're just gonna go ahead and do this. I'm gonna start by using the brow wax. I'm just gonna run this through my brows just to make sure that they stick down, because my brows tend to kind of have a mind of their own. Now I'm gonna take the spoolie end of this beautiful thing right here, and I'm just going to brush my hairs up and in the direction that I kind of want them to lay. And now I'm just going to go in with the pencil, and I'm gonna start feathering my brows in. This stuff is extremely pigmented and extremely creamy, so you have to use a super light hand, otherwise you're gonna go extremely overboard extremely quickly. Okay, so this brow pencil does the job, but because the point is so chubby, it's very hard to get a very precise, clean cut line, so I do prefer the Anastasia Brow Wiz, but this is a great drugstore alternative. So I'm just going to clean that up a little bit with some concealer and a flat definer brush. I'm just going back in with my Fit Me Concealer and just kind of sharpening everything up. so that's brows done, and I'm going to move on to the eyes. So I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit closer. Okay, so for the eyes, I'm going to be using the Maybelline in the Nudes palette, which obviously classic. You've heard about it probably plenty of times here on YouTube already, but I'm just going to be using that today in this drugstore tutorial. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight my brow bone, and I'm just going to be using this frosty white shade right here. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down a transition shade, and the color that I'm going to be taking is this taupey gray brown shade right here, and I'm taking that on a big fluffy blending brush. This one is the Sigma E40, and I'm going to be blending this into the crease. Now I'm just going to be taking this shade here to help me blend out that color, because these are they're not bad, they're not chalky shadows, but they are a little bit choppy when they go down on the lid. Like, they're not the smoothest thing ever, so I'm just taking a lighter shade to kind of help me blend that out. Okay, so now I'm taking a E25 blending brush, and I'm going to take this slightly darker shade just right here, and I'm going to start building up the crease. So I don't know if you can see, but this shadow's kind of going on a little bit choppy, and it's a little bit hard to blend out. If that happens, just go over it with a bit of a lighter shade and just kind of help it blend itself out. And if not, then just leave it and we'll keep on adding colors on top of it and hope that it goes away. Okay, so the next shade that I'm going to take is this kind of frosty white shade right here in the palette, and I'm taking that on a flat shader brush, and I'm just going to be packing this all over the lid. So I'm just going to go in with that original transition shade that we put down, which was this shade right here, on this E25 brush, and I'm just going to be blending this into the crease as well, just to kind of help blend it all out, because the colors are a little bit choppy and they're not blending out to be so seamless and perfect. Okay, so the next shade that I'm going to put down is this like dark brown shade. It's a little bit shimmery just in the center of the palette right here. I'm going to be taking this just in the outer corners of my eye right here and create a little bit of a C shape. Bring it into the crease a little bit. So now I'm just going to work on the lower lash line. I'm just going to be taking that color that we put all over the lid, just a little bit on the lower lash line. On the outer portion, I'm going to be taking this shade right here. Mascara, the one that I'm going to be using is the Loreal Telescopic Mascara. This one is amazing. Okay, so that's the eyes done, and now we're going to move on to the lips. So the lip liner that I'm going to be using is this one by NYX. It's in the shade Nude, and I'm just going to be lining my lips with them and filling them in. Okay, so now for lipstick, I'm going to be using Milani's new matte lipstick in the shade Naked. Last but not least, I'm just going to set my face with this L'Oreal Infallible Makeup Setting Spray. This is fairly new to the drugstore, but I'm just going to set my face with this. And this is the finished look. So that's it for this drugstore makeup tutorial. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to be linking everything that I used in this video in the description box below in case you're interested. If you guys found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And I guess I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.